Os Flintstones, El regreso de Tony Curtis, represents a remarkable synthesis of nostalgia and modern cinematic satire, blending the familiar Stone Age charm with a narrative daring enough to subvert audience expectations. From the very first scene, the film establishes a rhythm that oscillates between playful humor and underlying social commentary, a balancing act that many adaptations of classic animated works fail to achieve. The opening sequence, which depicts Bedrock in the throes of an unexpected volcanic rumble, immediately challenges the audience's preconceived notions of a static, cartoonish world. The director employs sweeping pans and close-ups of the Flintstone household to highlight both the comedic and dramatic potential of a universe previously confined to Saturday morning cartoons. The meticulous attention to detail in the prehistoric setting, from the stone cars to the rudimentary appliances, reinforces the illusion that Bedrock is simultaneously timeless and contemporary, a paradox that the film exploits to humorous and thought-provoking effect. Fred Flintstone, portrayed with an unprecedented depth of character by a charismatic lead, is shown grappling not only with domestic chaos, but also with the existential question of relevance in a rapidly evolving world. This depiction humanizes a character often relegated to slapstick comedy, inviting the audience to engage with his fears and aspirations on a profound level. The film's narrative momentum is punctuated by the return of Tony Curtis, whose reappearance disrupts the comfortable rhythms of Bedrock life. Tony's character functions as both a mirror and a catalyst, reflecting the flaws and latent desires of the main characters while propelling them towards self-discovery. The tension between Fred's entrenched routines and Tony's dynamic presence creates a series of comedic and emotionally charged sequences that are both meticulously choreographed and spontaneous in appearance. Cinematographically, the film employs a rich palette of warm, earthy tones, punctuated by sudden bursts of color during moments of heightened emotion or absurdity. This visual strategy reinforces the tonal duality of the narrative, blending the familiar aesthetic of the original animated series with the nuanced sensibilities of contemporary film. One memorable scene involves a chaotic dinner party where Fred, Wilma, Barney, and Betty attempt to navigate a series of misunderstandings catalyzed by Tony's irreverent antics. The scene exemplifies the film's ability to balance humor with narrative propulsion, using physical comedy as an extension of character development rather than as an isolated spectacle. The use of diegetic sound is particularly noteworthy. The clattering of stone utensils, the roar of prehistoric beasts, and the subtle background murmur of Bedrock's citizens coalesce into an immersive soundscape that grounds the film in its imaginative setting, while heightening the comedic impact of each scene. The film's thematic undercurrents revolve around friendship, loyalty, and the inevitability of change. Tony Curtis serves as a narrative device through which the film interrogates these themes, provoking reflection on how communities negotiate the intrusion of new personalities and ideas into established systems. The emotional core of the story is further strengthened by the nuanced portrayal of Wilma, whose pragmatic intelligence and emotional resilience provide a counterbalance to Fred's impulsiveness. Her interactions with both Fred and Tony demonstrate the film's commitment to developing multidimensional female characters within a traditionally male-centric comedic framework. The screenplay deftly weaves together episodic humor and overarching narrative arcs, ensuring that each gag contributes to character evolution and story progression. Notably, the film refrains from relying on nostalgia alone, instead leveraging familiar character traits to explore contemporary issues such as the pressures of social conformity, the fear of obsolescence, and the search for personal identity. In addition to narrative innovation, the film exhibits a remarkable command of pacing. Moments of heightened chaos are interspersed with quieter, introspective sequences that allow both characters and audiences to process the emotional stakes. This rhythm mirrors the ebb and flow of real-life relationships, providing resonance beyond the film's prehistoric setting. One cannot overlook the film's approach to visual humor, which combines exaggerated physicality with subtle facial expressions and timing. The animators and actors work in tandem to ensure that gestures and movements communicate as much about a character's internal state as spoken dialogue, resulting in a layered comedic experience that rewards careful observation. A particularly striking moment occurs during a chase sequence through Bedrock streets, where slapstick collisions, narrowly avoided accidents, and clever use of Stone-era technology converge to create a symphony of chaotic humor that simultaneously advances the plot and reinforces character traits. The film also experiments with self-referential humor, frequently nodding to the original animated series while twisting expectations in unexpected ways. These meta-textual elements do not detract from the story but instead enrich it, inviting audiences to reconsider the nature of adaptation and the ways in which familiar narratives can be revitalized through thoughtful reinterpretation. Ultimately, El Regreso de Tony Curtis succeeds because it balances reverence for its source material with bold creative innovation. Its exploration of friendship, change, and personal growth resonates across generational divides, while its sophisticated comedic timing and narrative construction elevate it beyond a mere nostalgic exercise. The film's enduring appeal lies in its ability to evoke laughter, provoke thought, and elicit emotional investment in characters who, despite their prehistoric milieu, confront challenges and dilemmas that remain universally relatable. The return of Tony Curtis is not merely a plot device, but a symbolic reminder of the potential for disruption to catalyze growth, both for individuals and communities. In this way, the film transcends its comedic roots, offering a layered, multifaceted experience that rewards multiple viewings and invites discourse on the evolving nature of adaptation, humor, and storytelling.